Hi there, Massy here, coach, strategist and author of 5 books. Got 4 there, but my latest one is on the shelves in Amazon, Decision Making Mastery, so do check that out. Welcome to my podcast series, The Life Masterclass, coming to you all the way from beautiful Bali. It's a bit of a warm day here, so I'm sweating it up a little bit. And welcome to The Life Masterclass, where I'm all about helping us raise our level of consciousness, our awareness, our abundance, our success, our health, our vitality, all of those things, that plethora, in a way that's really practical. So I'm about tips, tools and strategies. Now, if you're listening to this via audio, if you do get the sudden urge to see my my face, my talking head, I don't know why, make sure you check out my YouTube channel and you can subscribe there to get all of the weekly podcasts here. So, and also if you want to sign up for my newsletter, carlmassy.com, so you can stay plugged in. I have articles there, and I've got a couple of events coming up in the not too distant future, so stay plugged in there. Okay, so with these tips and these strategies, I generally go about my day and I see what pops up for me over the course of my week. With client conversations, coaching conversations and different things. And I recently read a book and it brought up the topic of intellectual intelligence and intuitive intelligence and sort of looking at the difference between those two. And essentially it was sort of hypothesizing that the best way to live and get the most out of life, which is what I'm all about, Life Masterclass, is about the plugging of those two in together. Now, I think that we've spent a lot of time getting really good at the intellectual intelligence, working on that, building up knowledge, and I'm all about that. And our intuitive intelligence has just got lower and lower and lower. And I think in the day and age we live in, this 2021, it's so important for us to have a good sense of intuitive intelligence, because that intuitive intelligence lets us know how best to navigate our way through life. That intuitive intelligence lets us know whether we're being fed BS or something that actually makes sense. That intuitive intelligence makes us steer a course through life. And I can think back in 2001, I was traveling through South America, and I remember, one night, it was maybe early evening and that sort of thing, certainly dark. I'm walking along the road with one or two colleagues of mine, travel buddies, and I see an alleyway off to the side, and there's like 3 or 4 or 5 guys there just hanging out there, and I see one of the guys has got a sawn-off shotgun, and intuitively I felt like just giving a smile and giving a buenas noches, and this exchange was just a friendly exchange. It was just a hi, and continued walking on. So intuitively I didn't have a sense of fear, and intuitively I was led to be polite, respectful and friendly, and that sort of was the right thing for that situation. And another time I was in Buenos Aires and going along, and I just felt this heavy sense about this place I was walking, this street we were walking down, and it wasn't necessarily a narrow alley, but I was going down, and then some people said to me, they said, look, don't go down this street, there's not a safe part of town and that sort of stuff. You're better off turning off here and going down that particular way. So my intuitive sense was giving me this. Now, other times in my life, I've not listened to that intuitive intelligence that was bubbling forth. When I first moved to Bali in end of 2007, I connected with some people, and got offered an opportunity to join a project. It was creating a boutique backpackers in Bali, and the gentleman that was the project lead on it, I spent a bit of time with him, and I started getting an intuitive sense that boy, this guy is shallow. And that sort of intuitive intelligence is coming up to me. It's a feeling in my stomach, my gut's telling me something's off, don't invest all your money in this project. But I used my intellectual intelligence, and I looked at the business plan and it looked great. So I said, yes, I'm in, put my money in. 7 years later, lost all my money, complete disaster, emotional freaking roller coaster. Again, not trusting this intuition. Now, I've worked with a lot of clients over the last 13 plus years coaching, and I've worked with a lot of A-type women. Women generally have a better sense of intuition than men. There's no doubts about it, because they've got a better connection and sense of what they're feeling, and they use those feelings to help navigate. But what I found was I was, working with a lot of women and more corporate women, and what they did was intuitive comes up, but then they would override it with their intellectual intelligence. I called it logicalizing. So, something's bubbled up and they've logicalized it and not tapped into this intuitive sense. So I think we're in a bit of a stage at the moment, where our intuitive intelligence is way down. Technology hasn't assisted, because technology isn't necessarily intuitive. Not to the sense of, this human experience. Like, we've got the intuitive intelligence way higher than any artificial intelligence. We have this ability to sense things at a vibrational level beyond the five senses. There's no doubts about that. I'm sure you've had a feeling sometimes and you've got no idea where that feeling has come from, but you know it to be true. And when you follow that intuitive guidance, you've probably made great decisions. So again, technology, and I'm all about practical. How can we sort of practical? So I've practically said, we've got a bit of a crisis going on where our intuitive intelligence is way down, which means we have limited powers of discernment. And if we haven't got good discernment, we're not able to tune into truth, and we're following some other rubbish. And, we've seen that over the last 12 months, certainly. So one of the things, if people spend a lot of time on their phone and they put their life plasma into their phone, that becomes their reality, as opposed to everything outside of it. So the more we put our attention into these smartphones, we call them, the less we're tuned in and plugged in to the environment around them. And I did a podcast not so long ago talking about critical thinking and this idea that, what's self-evident based in what we're intuitive feeling. So we need to put those devices away. We need to tune in and plug into, all the senses of our body. We need to plug into our mind, our heart, our gut. What's all of those things together intuiting for us? Meditation is a great practice to help us, get better at this intuitive sense. And you don't need to do any fancy meditation thing. You can just close your eyes, pay attention to what's happening in your body, and listening to what your body is telling you. For me, in a practical sense, like yesterday, I had a feeling my body was telling me, I needed to take a bit of a break. I was starting to feel a little bit hot. So, my beautiful partner knocks up some herbal concoction. I drink that through the day, rest pretty well through the day, and I'm good as gold today. It just blows me away when I go into a restaurant cafe here in Bali and they're taking my temperature. And as I've got my arm out for them to take my temperature, I said, I'm feeling extremely healthy today. And they check the temperature and go, yes, you are. And I don't need that piece of equipment, because I can intuitively see within my body whether my temperature is up, whether my temperature is down, whether I'm feeling good, I'm feeling a little bit off. That's what I want to get used to, rather than paying attention to these bits of technology to give me feedback that I can intuit myself. So my encouragement, my guidance for you is to get better and do practices to help you tune in a little bit more to your intuitive sense. Don't reach for that phone, and before you ask for the advice of someone else, and I'm big on asking advice, what do you intuitively feel? Not what do you think, what do you feel? And do those practices where you close your eyes and you just do a body scan. What am I feeling? And so much of what our body says to us, so I might be feeling an ache in a particular place. I go in intuitively, what's that ache telling me? And I might get an intuitive message which says, slow down or stop before you lose control. And okay. And I tune into that, I do that, I take that advice of this highly, highly intelligent body of mine. And suddenly my knee that was a bit achy there just relaxes a little bit, because I slowed down. It was just trying to get my attention. So it really is a powerful, powerful, powerful tool to help you navigate your way through life, particularly in uncertain times, and particularly with this barrage of information, whether it's mainstream media or marketing messages, or people trying to tell us what to do, how we should run our business, how we should market, just take a step back. What am I intuitively feeling? Another way to tune up your intuition is spend more time in nature, like settling things down so you can plug in a little bit more to the vibrational frequency of this planet and become more tuned in to things around you. So I hope you heed that advice. I hope you sort of slow things down, take things inwards, tune into those feelings and get better at feeling those feelings and seeing what they mean. And maybe another technique is when you feel that but you're not sure where it's at, maybe journaling, because it slows everything down and puts things in perspective, and then you go, that was a feeling I couldn't quite understand, but as I journal, I've got a better sense about it. Now that makes sense to me. So that's another technique as well. And I think that's enough for now. Just tune into your intuition, pay more attention to it, do practices that level that intuitive sense up so that, again, you can be more discerning so you can make even greater decisions. Talking decisions, obviously my latest book, I'm just going to plug it a little bit more here and there. Decision Making Mastery, check that out. Kindle, available on Amazon, Kindle, paperback version. Throw those out. Join my newsletter, carlmassy.com. I'll be sending out some free copies, but you'll hear about that competition from my newsletter, so see that. I'm also going to do a couple of podcasts, a part 1 and a part 2 series, looking at decision making mastery. So again, give you some more sense there so you can level up your decision making skills through this 2021 experience. So there you go. If you'd like to go deeper with any work with me, don't hesitate to reach out. carlmassy.com is the website, and then just go to the contact page, reach out for me, and I can help you through any decision making, certainly any transitions and that sort of thing. And again, I said plug into my newsletter so you stay connected to events I've got coming up in July and another event I've got coming up in October this year, worth checking out and checking into. So on that note, wherever you are on this gorgeous, incredible, beautiful, fantabulous planet of ours, have an absolutely fantastic day and take care.